I ought to change, but I've attempted and failed. Does this seem familiar? Frequently, altering habits does seem insurmountable. A lot of us merely don't have enough motivation to alter our habits, all of our foul habits, in a way that would really affect our life. We hold them tight as we view them as rewards. But your habits determine your life. Law of attraction, discarding negative habits. Methods that will help you deconstruct the bad habits holding you back. Chapter 1. Take 30. Synopsis. I discovered 30-day trials years ago. People who sell items over the net frequently provide free 30-day trial versions so that likely customers may try the product risk-free before settling whether they wish to purchase it. By the end of the test period, many individuals will buy the software as they've gotten accustomed to utilizing it. You can utilize a similar technique to condition a fresh habit or behavior. Test period. The hardest part of any new habit is pulling through the first month, particularly the first several days. When you've made it through those first 30 days, it's much simpler to continue as you've overpowered inertia. When we consider changing a habit for good, we frequently psych ourselves out before we start. Believing we have to give something up for a lifetime is too overpowering to even think about. Enter the 30-day test. Rather than committing to a lasting change, your goal is to make a little temporary dedication. Try out your new habit for only 30 days. After that, you're free to stop and go back to your old ways. It's merely 1 month out of your life. That isn't so tough, is it? Exercise every day for 30 days. Abandon television for 30 days. Arise at 5 daily for 30 days. Consider each 30-day test as a fun and intriguing challenge. You're simply conducting a test to determine if you like it. A 30-day trial still demands some discipline and persistence, but not nearly as much as a lasting change as you may always see the end of the tunnel. You've a guaranteed escape road if matters don't work out. Any sacrifice or loss you suffer is temporary. You're totally free to go back to your old ways on day 31. What occurs when you really finish a 30-day test? Firstly, you'll have gone far enough to make your fresh behavior a habit, making it simpler to carry on if you want. Secondly, you'll break your old pattern in that area, so your older habits won't wield as much power on your behavior. Thirdly, you'll have 30 days of success behind you, so you'll already have shown yourself you can accomplish this. And fourth, you'll have enjoyed 30 days worth of results, and if those results are favorable, you'll be more motivated to retain the habit. At the finish of your 30-day test, your might to continue in your fresh habit is a lot greater than it was at the beginning of your trial run. If you're prepared to make the habit lasting, you might find it reasonably simple to continue, as momentum is now with you. If you don't feel prepared to make that sort of allegiance, though, you may extend your test to 60 or 90 days. The longer your test period, the simpler it will be to lock in the fresh habit. A different possibility is that you'll get to the end of your 30 days and determine you don't wish to keep going. Remember that this is simply a test, so you're not bound to purchase if you don't like it. In this case, you're free to omit the habit and attempt something else. If you discover your 30-day test is too hard, scale it back a bit. Attempt 5 or 10 days for your first test. Then take a break and try for a longer experiment once you feel ready. You may likewise scale back the challenge. For instance, rather than attempting to give up coffee for 30 days, attempt limiting your consumption to no more than 1 cup a day for 30 days. Feel free to adjust the concept to fit your stage of discipline. Let yourself be challenged, but not overpowered. I've enjoyed excellent success with 30-day tests, as have many others who've applied this process. These tests are best suited to everyday habits. I haven't discovered them as effective for behaviors taken less frequently, like every week activities. All the same, if you are able to turn such habits into everyday actions, you are able to still conduct a 30-day test and then reduce the frequency after the experiment is complete. Chapter 2. 30-day test tips. A few ideas. Prevent watching television. You are able to always record your preferred shows and view them at the end of the test if you're afraid you'll miss something. Abandon net forums and idle net surfing. Clean up daily and groom yourself to look your best. Daily, introduce yourself to somebody you don't know. Go out each evening and do something different every time. Cleanse and organize your house or office for half-hour a day. Trade rub-downs with your mate on alternating days, so you each get 15 massages. Give up addictions like cigarettes, pop, junk food, caffeine, porn, and the like. Arise at 5 each morning. This was among the best trials I ever executed. Study for an hour a day. This is an unbelievably empowering habit. Discover 10 fresh vocabulary words daily. Meditate once or twice daily. Maintain a day-to-day journal. Can you execute multiple 30-day tests at once? That depends upon you. Many individuals have excellent success applying multiple habits simultaneously, while other people want to center on one habit at a time. I advocate limiting your first 30-day test to 3 fresh habits maximum, and it's better if the habits are reciprocally supportive, like diet and exercise transitions. When individuals attempt to adopt 4 or more habits at once, they frequently get overwhelmed and quit all of them inside the first week. You may make your tests more pleasurable by involving kinsperson or friends. This will provide you an instant support group, and it may be a positive bonding experience likewise. The 30-day test is a potent but easy solution. Once you commit to doing something each day for 30 days straight, it's much simpler to bypass inner resistance and take on the challenge willingly. Pick a different habit you'd like to experience or a previous pattern you'd like to break, and get moving on day 1 now. Chapter 3. Take it in steps. Bit by bit. Rather than making a huge change all at once, you aim to take one little step in the proper direction. When you have gotten comfy with that change, take a different little step. Go forward taking little steps one at a time till you sooner or later reach your goal. For instance, if you wish to stop consuming caffeine, first take note of how much caffeine you presently consume. Then set up an initial goal to cut back your daily consumption by 25%. So if you consume 4 cupfuls of caffeine a day, you will either drop it to 3 cupfuls a day or you'll consume 4 cupfuls that are only 3/4 full. Sustain that new level for a week prior to taking the following step. At that point, reduce your consumption to 50% of your original level, and accomplish that for a different week. Then drop it to merely 25% of the original level, again sustaining it for a week. And finally you are ready to do away with caffeine completely. If a 25% change is too much for you to manage, begin with a 10% change. You are able to use stair-stepping for a wide range of habits. I know a lot of individuals who've used this technique to stop smoking, dropping their cigarette consumption by a little amount each week till they were down to 1 smoke per day, and occasionally down to 1 cigarette every 2 or 3 days, before finally quitting for good. A different individual utilized this method to become an early riser, setting his alarm simply 5 minutes earlier every day till he reached his goal. Chapter 4. Habits and Unity. Synopsis. Unity teaches us that we're all role models. As we interact with other people, we teach them how to act, whether we recognize it or not. Take heed. Our interconnectedness signifies that individual habits can't be considered in isolation. Remember that one person's foul habits may produce serious results for other people, and occasionally those results are severe, just like a drunk driver causing an accident. Therefore, we must not only be responsible for ourselves, but in addition to that the domain in which we reside. Utilize habits to reinforce unity itself. Rather than living in a separate cocoon, make a habit of giving to other people. Find something you are able to accomplish on a steady basis, to provide value to complete strangers, not simply your loved ones and acquaintances. Think about doing volunteer work, or discover a way to give through your job. For instance, I produced my internet site to contribute personal development thoughts with individuals around the globe. It is exceedingly rewarding to find day-to-day feedback from those who find advantages from my work, even though a lot of them have never encountered me personally. A few individuals likewise advocate tithing, which means giving 1/10 of your revenue away to worthwhile campaigns. Tithe means 1/10. If you choose to tithe, simply be aware that giving revenue is no substitute for direct engagement. Cultivate at least one habit to intensify your experience of unity. Make a habit of going for extended walks in nature. Savor prolonged physical connection with somebody close to you. Provide hugs rather than handshakes. Grin at unknown people you pass on the street. If you make habits of these easy activities, you will seldom feel disconnected and solitary. Chapter 5. Some great habits to start. Synopsis. To replace the bad habits with great habits is a really good idea. Here you will find some really great habits to start that will benefit your personal development. Replace bad with good. Construct a fresh habit by tacking a job onto one of your habits you already have. Water the flowers after you eat lunch. Send off thank you notes after you check mail. Interpose one task into the middle of some other. Study while eating lunch. Return calls while traveling back and forth to work. Listen to audio programs while shopping. When somebody does you a good turn, refer a thank you card. That's a true card, not an e-card. This is uncommon and memorable, and the individuals you thank will be eager to bestow more opportunities. Ramp up your skill in assorted productivity habits. Better your typing speed to at least 60 words per minute. Take how to speed read. Better your communicating skills. Simply state no to non-critical requests for your time. If individuals get disturbed with you, let them. Reclaim others' wasted time for yourself. Envision your goals during gray speeches. Write up your shopping list during senseless meetings. Explain your most ambitious issues to several others, and ask for all the advice, feedback, and constructive critique you are able to handle. On a sheet of paper, put down 20 originative ideas for bettering your effectiveness. By choice, make the job harder, as challenging jobs are more engaging and motivating than ho-hum ones. Do physical chores like filing or cleaning with your non-dominant hand. Draw up poetic emails to answer other emails. Finish an otherwise dull task in an uncommon or crazy manner to keep it fun and intriguing. Make routine calls utilizing fake foreign accents. Take notes in wax, crayon. Experiment to find out how music might boost your effectiveness. Try trance or rock and roll for email, classical music for jobs, and complete silence for elevated concentration originative work. Figure how long a job will take to finish. Then start a timer, and press yourself to complete it in 1/2 that time. When an undesirable task is assigned to you, redelegate it to somebody else. When an apparently senseless job is delegated to you, bounce it back to the individual who assigned it to you, and challenge them to rationalize its functional necessity. Quit clubs, jobs, and subscriptions that consume more of your time than they deserve. Hold up non-critical jobs as long as you potentially can. A lot of them will die and won't need to be accomplished at all. Switch off the television, particularly the news, and recapture a lot of available hours. Name the item on your job list that frightens you the most. Muster up all the bravery you are able to and tackle it at once. Shop online if possible. Get the best choice, consult critiques, and buy items within moments. Hire a personal coach to remain motivated, centered, and accountable. Study books and articles, listen to audio programs, and go to seminars to soak up fresh themes and inspiration. Work out daily. Supercharge your metabolism, concentration, and mental clarity in half-hour a day. Cast out the negative people from your life, and affiliate with positive, happy individuals instead. Mentalities are catching. Be loyal to reality, affection, and might, not to pity. Discover individuals who are already acquiring the results you want, question them, and adopt their mental attitude, notions, and behavior. Wrapping up. Expect to invest a lot of time and energy working at your habits. A lot of your personal development efforts will likely be aimed at breaking previous patterns or forging fresh ones. Your habits put your outcomes on automatic pilot, so you have to ensure that those outcomes are lined up with what you wish. What sense does it make to quest after your greatest aspirations if your day-to-day habits will only undermine you? If you wish to live more consciously, you have to consciously cultivate great habits. In spite of the hard challenges you will face in this area, working on it provides you tremendous leverage. One fresh habit may permanently alter the course of your life story for the better. In the last analysis, the rewards warrant the required effort. Great habits will support you well in all fields of your life, including your wellness, your relationships,